So being a trumpet player, one of the most profound and early influences on me would have been Louis Armstrong. And through that, I heard Summertime, the version that Louis did with Ella. Didn't know there was more tracks to that album until much later. And then when I discovered the full album, Porgy and Bess, it was kind of a mind-blowing thing to hear as a young musician growing up. A few years ago I got kind of urged to kind of seek out the music when I started kind of learning about arranging and all that sort of stuff. So I went about trying to find the score for Porgy and Bess, only to discover that I couldn't find it anywhere. I managed to somehow find Russell Garcia's email address on his website. So Russell Garcia is the guy who orchestrated the Porgy and Bess album for Ella Louis, and he very, very graciously replied to my email. Took him months to reply because he was living somewhere very far away in the world. He kind of gave up the music industry in the 60s, I think. Him and his wife went and set up kind of a school for underprivileged children and all this sort of stuff. So really, very cool guy. Anyway, he got back in touch months later and said, yeah, that was such a lovely project, but I think I've got a bit of the score for the overture somewhere, but other than that, I couldn't tell you where the music is. So I kind of didn't think any more about it really, but then there was a kind of burning little niggling in my head that I'm going to have to put on this gig sometimes. I started, writing a lot of music and putting on my own concerts with my big band and doing other things. So it's been a kind of 10 years of thinking about this. So yeah, eventually I just thought it would be a great idea to do a Gershwin night, because I'm a big Gershwin fan anyway. I love Rhapsody in Blue, so we're going to start the concert with that. And obviously he's such an iconic kind of songwriter and melody writer. So I set about recreating the score from the recording, painstakingly kind of listening to every instrument and recreating every part. There's obviously a little bit of educated guesswork happens every now and again when the whole orchestra's playing. You can't always make out the second violin line or a little inner viola part, or a second trombone part. But through kind of educated guessing, you can kind of have a good idea what it's going to do. It's such a great recording that you can hear most of the things in the recording. So it's a bit like a kind of virtual sonic jigsaw puzzle that you're kind of putting together. You hear all the obvious parts and then you kind of fill in the blanks eventually. So yeah, how's that so far?